Greetings, users! Welcome back to the Media Stand. We're going to talk about what I think is the oddest combination of releases to come from Vinegar Syndrome in 1 month, because generally there's a theme, but from October of 2024, this was a weird theme, because I don't get it.
It's review time, bitches.
We are going to talk about the oddly amazing release that they put out for Roman Polanski's The Tenant, part of Polanski's apartment trilogy, that is a trilogy in name only, because they have absolutely no connection to each other than the fact that they are all psychological thrillers taking place in an apartment. So, yeah, this trilogy being The Tenant, Repulsion, and Rosemary's Baby. This is not a VSU release, although it has the big, thick cardboard box. And instead of a clamshell that opens from the side, no, this opens from the middle like a window. If you've seen the film, you know why. But you open that up, you pull out just like a VSU, and you have the slipcover, a booklet, and then the original art on the inside. So no repeated artwork. And again, Vinegar Syndrome is trying to reinvent the box, and they're getting very creative with this, all right? The magnets are like, they're so small, like they can hide anywhere. There's magnets in the top and bottom so that it stays closed. This is amazing. So why did all this work go into a Roman Polanski film? Because it's a Paramount title. Oh, gets me every time. Now, in their defense, it's the only Paramount title that came out this month, because along with this psychological thriller that actually is really good, it's about a man who moves into an apartment. He's Polish in France, so he's feeling being mistreated in France. But he finds out that the tenant who was in the apartment before him threw herself out a window. Then he starts to read into it a little bit too much. He goes a little crazy. He gets a little concerned about the little girl that lives next door. And then we all get very concerned about that little girl. You just check out the movie. I don't want to do any spoilers right now. Just check out the movie. It is good, despite the monster he is. So that means I'm going to move on to Corpse Mania. And this is a fun movie. Not only just another Hong Kong movie, but this is a Shaw Brother movie. And not just that, it's a Shaw Brother Giallo. A Giallo. It's fun. Like I said, it's a Hong Kong Shaw Brother take on the Giallo format, except with a whole lot of weird stuff thrown in, like necrophilia. Now, there's an underwhelming amount of necrophilia in it, but some people would say that itself is too much. Those people have clearly never watched Necromantic 1 or 2, because that's your weird fetish. I shouldn't say weird. I say weird with love. I'm weird. I have weird fetishes myself. And if yours is petting somebody with a big fur glove while they're covered in talc, then more power to you. Do it. Watch this movie. It's fun. Next up is one called Ghost Dance. This is a early 80s slasher from 1982. I was not the biggest fan of this. It was a little slow, but kind of cheesy, and that's cool. Basically about cursed totems, bringing back Native American gods or ancestors. I'm going to read it to you. How about that? When an excavation team led by Dr. K. Foster unearths a burial site on an American Indian reservation, the tribal elders caution them that they are bringing about great danger, for they have disturbed the resting place of Nahala, who, legend has it, was a sadistic and feared cult leader. Ignoring these warnings, however, the team transports the body back to the museum in hopes of identifying it. Sure enough, the grim predictions soon come to pass when a young couple are found gruesomely slaughtered after a late-night love-making session at the museum. Unbeknownst to Dr. K and her team, a local machine man has managed to summon Nahala, now possessed by his evil spirit. He is stalking the shadows, intent on meting out bloody vengeance to those who have disturbed his slumber. It's a weird premise, weird movie. Key takeaway: if you're gonna have like sex in public, don't do it on sacred ground, I guess. Then we have Forgotten Jolly Volume 7. We're about to get the next volume. This is one that I really enjoyed everyone that was in this box set. They're all very fun. They're from the 80s. They're very, very 80s. This is like the late Jolly period. Make sure I'm not showing you anything you shouldn't see. First one up is called Mystere, and that is the name of a call girl in the film, our protagonist. It's a fun take on the genre and less of a whodunit as we figure out whodunit pretty quickly, and it's more of like a why done it. So that's interesting. Then we get Obsession, a taste for fear. And this one was great. It's kind of a sci-fi-ish Giallo, which I think we need to have more of, and goes into stalking a photographer as she basically every time she sleeps with a model, that model end up dead. And there's a guy who has a river in his house and he makes sex tapes. It's very strange. There's some weird stuff in this one. Then Sweets from a Stranger, probably the best of the entire box set. This was just a really good one. This has a lot of social commentary, great cinematography, and decent acting. This one is about a lot of sex workers in Italy and kind of the worker culture in Italy and a killer that's going around killing call girls. So then they band together, try to protect themselves. I want to do maybe a series of videos on all three of these, or maybe one about the whole box set in general, because this was a good one. There's a lot of good style here, very 80s, but it's still trying to maintain that aesthetic of Giallo. I think Sweets from a Stranger is the objectively best film in the box set, but my favorite would have to be Obsession: A Taste for Fear because it was just weird and fun. And there's like a weird car. It's like a futuristic sci-fi giallo. Why can we not get more shit like that? And then you got like all the stuff about sex workers and sleeping with models and then killing the models. Oh my god. I think I figured out the theme for this month. They might seem like a bunch of random films all thrown together because you've got a psychological thriller, Hong Kong Giallo, early 80s Native American, potentially culturally appropriated slasher, and then a bunch of 80s stylistic films about taboos of sex. This was a month of fetishes. Yeah, that's what it is. Like necrophilia is petting somebody with a big fur glove while they're covered in talc, sex in public, and he makes sex tapes. The worker culture in Italy. This was all about fetishes. And you might be thinking, what was the fetish in the Tenant? I'm not going to explain it. You should already know. Interesting. I'm going to put these away. So if you want to know what's worth a grab, The Tenant is a good movie. This is a fantastic set. Corpse Mania is a great movie. If you like Shaw Brothers and if you like other countries doing a take on Giallo. And then, of course, Forgotten Jolly Volume 7 is a fantastic addition to the series. I'm pretty sure I will do more of a breakdown video of these films because they're all really good. And maybe you're a fan of Ghost Dance. I did not really like it that much. I can't say that I really recommend it, but if you're into it, go ahead and do it. I don't judge. Whatever your weird fetish is, do it. I think it's great. Anyway, this was a pretty quick one. Uh, if you're enjoying it, leave a like and have a good day.